Hey everyone, welcome to the Side Hustle Heroes podcast number 9. Great to be here. Jim Ed, fist
Yep.
bump. Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Cody, our guest star today.
What's
And
up, guys?
so yeah, welcome. And so we're in a different, you probably can tell if you're watching this on video, we're in a different place. We're not in our normal place. We're actually virtual because we want to bring on Cody to talk about his Amazon influencer journey. So yeah, welcome. And so,
Thanks.
yeah, you're welcome. So, looking forward to getting to talk to you a little more here in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and do our normal. So today we'll obviously have some time to talk to Cody. We're gonna go through our numbers like we usually do. We're gonna talk about just what other things have been going on this past week, and then Jim Ed's gonna finish this up with some thoughts he has about Amazon, like their placement prioritization of placement, maybe perhaps based on the more videos you upload. Is it possible that they get better preference in that and better placement? I don't know. We'll see. He has a couple of thoughts on that. So really looking forward to doing this podcast today. So let's start first with our numbers. Jim, do you want to lead with the numbers?
No, go ahead, Andrew.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll end with the best, right? So our numbers, my numbers past 7 days.
Wait a minute. Maybe we should start with Cody's numbers.
They're
No,
probably
seriously though, Cody, you do have some numbers ready because Cody he's a newbie on this,
yeah.
but he's already got his account open from scratch, and he's going to tell us all about that today. And he is also going to tell us how much money he's already made. So, Cody, tell us the last 7 days and the last 30, please.
Yep. So the last 7 days, I've made $140.89, and over the last 30 days, it's $150.
Nice.
Yep.
Really good.
It's not that much more over the last 30 because Cody's not. We'll dive into all this later, but Cody's not even been monetized for much more than a week.
Yeah, it's trending the right direction.
Nice.
That's the 7 day average is looking really good.
Absolutely.
Really good. Yeah. Recency is yeah. So that's awesome. My past 7 day numbers, $256. And there's been a couple where I've been hovering over 300, but my numbers have been pretty consistent, somewhere around between 260 and 300. So, and then past 30 days, 1100. So I've been hovering. I've been really flirting with that $1,000 barrier. So I'm cool with that. And as busy as I've been with my other side businesses, I haven't been uploading a whole lot of videos on Amazon Influencer. So I'm just a little bit over 110, I think, right now. So not great. So I need to push that harder. What happens is if you don't push, your numbers will you'll have some attrition, okay? Because you're going to potentially fall off some listings. And if I just never did another video ever again, I would probably still, be in the high, probably 700-800 for a while. And then I think eventually I'd probably get even lower and lower. So you got to keep doing videos. And so Jim Ed, someone wants to do videos and a lot of new videos added. Your numbers are impressive.
How many videos you say you had up, Andrew?
I think it's a little over 110.
And Cody?
I'm at 46.
Nice. I'm at like 333. In the last 7 days, I had $2,014.
Wow.
And in the last 30, $5,243. So it's been good.
And it's interesting. You can't, like, if you look at his videos, he's not just doing more videos. He's doing something different because if you notice, you can't just multiply like, oh, I have 110. He has, how many did you say again? 300 and what?
333.
Yeah, so you can't just multiply that by 3 and say, well, he should be making around 3,000. Well, you're making more. Why are you making more? Because you have more expensive products that you're actually reviewing. So that's a lot
that are selling.
Reviewing and selling and nice conversion rate as well. So he's had a really solid conversion rate. So there's a lot of factors there, but he's doing a lot of things right now. And I know I give Jim a lot of credit. So, but anyway, Cody, you're doing awesome, and so happy that there's a lot of people who stay around $4 or $5 for the longest time and they just quit. So really glad you're here. And so I think this is a good, oh yeah, real quick. Let me just do a quick update and then we can get into the fun part with Cody. But so I may have mentioned this a couple podcasts ago or last podcast. I can't even remember, but what we're interested in doing, I think, Jim, you did talk about, like, we're interested in doing a course, okay, on Amazon Influencer, obviously. And part of that process is really us understanding everything about Amazon Influencer. We're testing things. And one thing that we haven't been as familiar with is the process of getting in the program, because as far as like personally, we're hearing from other people, we're working with other people to get them in there. But Jim Ed and I got in February. So, and things have changed since then. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and try to get a second account. There's nothing wrong with getting a second account. There's nothing, it's not against the terms and conditions, anything like that. So I'm doing this, kind of just doing a test account. So what I did was I started with a Facebook page, probably, I don't know, I'm going to say probably a week and a half ago. Real simple Facebook page. I'm not going to go into the details as far as what exactly it is, but I went to Canva, used some of the, if you're not familiar with Canva, there's videos, there's images, and there's real nice fonts and text. It makes it really easy if you want to do something, add some pictures to it, add some text, and it makes it really easy to create social media posts. So I've used that, but a 4 or 5 posts, did some Facebook ads. So this is Friday night, about 7 o'clock, I turned my ads on. By Saturday, I had about over 1,000 people who liked my page. And I mentioned this already on past podcasts. You need to do an engagement ad, and you need to make sure that you're emphasizing, focusing on page likes, right? So, but what I did was I did some posts. The good thing is the post gets their attention, but so they're liking your post, whatever that post is, but they're also liking your page. And so by Sunday afternoon, I was already over 2,000. I turned my ads off probably around 9 o'clock on Sunday with 2,200.
How much did you spend on ads?
It was probably, let's just say $50, because I did actually took one post and just boosted it, like it's called a post boost or whatever it's called. And then I also did the engagement ad, like we said. So combined, about $50. And yeah, and so that Sunday evening, I actually also applied for Amazon Influencer, and I got the auto approval. So I was in, did my 3 videos, and I uploaded those. They got published as of this morning, and I'm waiting to see if I'm gonna get approved, hopefully sometime next couple of days. So hopefully by our next podcast, I'll have some updates. But man, if I get in, this is going to be a testimony that it's not that hard. It's not difficult, and creating unique content is not as hard as it sounds. Now, Cody,
let me add something here, Andrew. You know, you had always, when we had talked about this early on, you'd always been a big fan of doing it through Facebook, and I was more of the school of do it through TikTok. Yeah. I know that's how Cody got in, but yeah, it looks like you were right on that. I have to certainly give you credit there. The Facebook, if you'll throw $50 at it, and we're going to dive into how Cody did it on TikTok. He spent a little bit of money there, I think minimal amount as well. But looks like the Facebook, we've had, what, Andrew, 3 different people who've gotten in with repurposed pages. And yours was also a repurposed page, correct? Like you had it, you had it for a while.
It was a repurposed page, and we've heard so far that brand new pages, it will get you in the first level, which is just the auto approval, but it's not always gonna get you in the second level, which is looking at your videos, looking at your social media platform. We've talked about this a lot. So I honestly, the more I do this, we're going to find out for sure, it's a combination of certainly engagement, followers with the first level. The second level is probably the same thing. They look at engagement, they look at your content, and they're probably going to look a lot more closely at your age as well. So the age of the page as well. So I don't think it's the age of the content so much as the age of the page. So somehow they have that information, but a lot of this we don't know for sure. But I think it'd actually be fun, Jeanette, if you actually test a brand new page. It would be actually pretty cool to see how your experience will be with a brand new Facebook page, and see how long it takes for you to get in the program.
I think I'm going to repurpose one though.
Yeah, it's shortcut. So maybe I'll do a 3rd account just for kicks, right? Yeah. So maybe Cody, maybe you can do a 2nd account. Who knows?
There you go.
So we're 10 minutes into the podcast. We want to hear from Cody. So Cody, yeah, you didn't do a Facebook page. You did a TikTok, and you did have your TikTok for a while. So let's talk about that a little bit. And Jim Ed's actually going to be doing the questions. So let's go ahead and transition to Jim Ed, and I'll chime in probably here and there, but it's mostly all about you, Cody. We can't wait about your experience.
Yeah. So, hey, let me just say real quick. I've known Cody for, I was talking about it earlier, trying to figure it out, about 15 years, Cody. I'm kind of surprised at that as well. We've been talking, we worked together in our first sales job together, and we have stayed in touch. And I don't think more than a week has ever gone by that we haven't spoken on the phone, typically multiple times per week. And it's a really good friendship. And I'm really happy that this is something that you're seeking out and that we're able to help you a little bit in that. So yeah, we've already talked about it. You're already in all of that, but what was the journey for you to get here? What did that look like? What made you interested in it, and why are you here?
So it started out listening to you talk about what was going on, right? You hear about these things where people are making extra money, but until you know somebody that's doing it, it's hard to get excited about it. And once you started having days where you're making $400, $500, $600 a day, I was kind of like, all right, I need to figure this deal out. I mean, that's real money. That's not making $50 a month.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So when you started, we kind of talked about like what was the easiest way for you to get in. And at the time, we weren't doing a podcast. We weren't talking about a course, but not too far into it. When you kind of started getting close, Andrew and I started actually going toward that direction, and we all kind of got a group text going and all that. But tell us a little bit about the journey of getting there through TikTok and why TikTok.
Yeah, so I had a TikTok account, but it may have been 2 or 3 months old, but I'd never posted on it, right? And when we were getting on this call, I looked so once I decided to do this, we talked that TikTok was the route for me to go. And I started posting. My first post was on May 16th of this year. So I started posting, you encouraged me, hey, post things where people are going to interact with you to kind of create back and forth engagement, because that's something that they're looking for. So I tried to do that, but the most important thing was I was just trying to stay consistent in my posting. I was trying to have 3 to 5 posts a day. I'm in the auction business and I sell heavy equipment, so I would take videos of equipment that we were getting ready to sell and just post it and say when it was selling. So it was kind of helping my job and me build my social media following. Through that process, I wanted to kind of see about boosting it a little bit, and TikTok will allow you to promote a video. So I spent $10 promoting a video, and it just took off. It had probably 2,000 people looking at it and a bunch of likes on it. I waited a week.
Let me stop you a sec. So I remember when we were going through all of this, and we were Andrew, you and I were all three talking about it. And we were like, heavy equipment, there's people interested in that. Andrew's not, I'm not, it's not what I do, but I have some interest in it. But, that's not the lowest hanging fruit. That's not going to grab the masses super quick.
Right.
But what I did like about that was the sustainability for you, where it's easy for you to do videos on that. So if somebody's listening to the podcast or watching it and they're going, hey, what should I do mine on? I think Andrew was a little more school of thought of, hey, let's get on something that's going to really drive the influencer deal, or maybe catch some people faster. And Andrew can go into detail a little more on his Facebook, maybe on a future podcast when we don't have a guest. But what I do like about that is you are building a TikTok channel that you can kind of keep going with long after the influencer thing, and something that you may look up one day and it'd be a real benefit to you.
Well, and I've already had, when I'm promoting equipment for sales, people are bookmarking it, right? Are they the ones buying it at the auction? I don't know, but they're bookmarking it. So there is some value happening. I just don't know how much.
Let me ask you this, Cody. So with Facebook, you've got all these options when you're doing advertising. You can get specifically focused on getting page likes or people to like your post. Or you can do conversion ads, right? There's all sorts of ads. So obviously for this, you're just looking for engagement. So with TikTok, how flexible is it? Like how, I guess, specific is it if you just want to get people to follow you on TikTok?
So they ask you what you're trying to accomplish, right? And so you can even, if let's say you run a business, you can even break that down to go, my business is in Houston, Texas. So I only want this going out to people in Houston, Texas, right? And then I'm only looking for people 18 to 35. And so you can break it down into all these different categories. And then you can say what you're looking for, likes, followers, so on and so forth, right?
Now, what did you do? Did you want just people to like your
post? Yeah, I did likes. But since then, I've actually used TikTok to promote equipment, and I've done it for like just in the region that I'm selling it in.
Gotcha.
And talk briefly about how what kind of money you spent and what kind of results you got for money spent.
I spent either $20 or $30 total running 3 different ads. I think $10 is the minimum that you can run. And my normal post, after I've been posting for 2 or 3 weeks and kind of following people to get them to follow me back, my normal post would generate 150 to 250 views. But when I spent $10, like I said, I was getting about 1,200 to 1,500 views. So a bunch of likes go with that. So
how many TikTok followers do you have now?
I have 150.
Okay. 150. And when you got into Amazon Influencer, how many did you have? If you remember,
probably about 130.
Yeah. So I can tell you almost for sure, you would never get in with 130 Facebook followers. You just would.
Right.
So TikTok is obviously different. And we did hear that with TikTok, you need fewer. But what's interesting about, we've heard some people say, I had 5,000 followers in my TikTok. Is it called followers on TikTok?
Yeah.
And they didn't get in. And they're like, what the heck? Why? Engagement? Probably because of engagement or something like that.
So I have 150 followers and 1,800 likes. So I'm getting
1,800 likes on
my videos.
On your videos, right? So that was definitely probably a huge factor there. So
any idea about how many videos?
Yep, I can tell you that. Let's see.
So this is really cool that Cody's done the TikTok route. So this is great information for those. We talk about Facebook a lot. This is TikTok. So Cody's sort of the expert on that as far as, he's the only one who's done this. Jim had got in through other channels through YouTube. I got in through actually Instagram, and now I'm getting another channel, hopefully through Facebook. And now Cody's on TikTok. So this is great that you had that experience.
Yep.
How many videos again?
60 videos, but about 55 of those when I made it in. And I applied several times, by the way, and got rejected. But I would just apply like once a week, and then one day I got in.
Yeah, and quick overview on that. You can apply as many times as you want. Then once you hit your 3 video threshold, you get 3 shots at the 3 videos. So don't mess that up.
Per account.
Yep. Yep. And so I
what?
Most people have 1 account.
Social media account. Yeah. No, I'm saying but there's people who obviously the whole idea is they're reapplying, like Jimmy, right? He's going to create a new account to get in again. So I just want to make sure that the listener hey guys, those who are listening, that if you don't get in the first time if you don't get in the first time with your 3 attempts at your videos, you can reapply with a new social media platform. I just want to make sure people understand that.
Yeah, why don't you tell everybody where they can go catch us on Facebook group at?
Yes, Side Hustle Heroes HQ is our Facebook group. And then Cody, thank you for joining and for posting yesterday. And we continue to have people join that. So this is going to be a place we'll continue to do a lot more content that's not going to be in the podcast. And the thing about our podcast is it's mostly just our faces, right? Like you don't have any screen shares. So the opportunity with our group is to kind of get our hands dirty a little bit, go in there and actually share our screen, and then share some specifics that we don't have time to share on our podcast. So, and also have conversations with people, and learn from other people. So the whole idea is like, Cody, no one knows on the podcast. It might be, hopefully you're on a podcast again, but this is an opportunity for you to actually, if people have some questions about TikTok, hey, you're on our group now. You can help some people.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Cody, on this journey, of course, there's some ups and downs. There were some ups and downs of trying to get in. I know, we talked about this almost daily, at least week daily. And there's a lot to that, but there's of course more than that. But why don't you talk about a little bit about the ups and downs of trying to get in through just trying to get in the program?
Yeah. So one, for me, it was just trying to figure out social media. I mean, I'd never done TikTok before, it seemed like kind of a kid thing, teenagers use it all the time. And so I wasn't very familiar with it, but once you get in there and start using it, it catches on real quick. But it felt like it was going to, honestly, it felt like it was going to take longer than it did to get in. I was kind of ready for like 6 months, and I got in just over a month, right? And so the thing I would tell people is, if you're going to commit to it, commit to spending $50 and commit to posting 3, 4, 5 videos a day, and just stay with it. And I think you'll get in pretty quickly. So
Cody, 3 to 4 or 5 videos a day. Who on earth has that kind of time? That's impossible, man. How'd you do it? How hard is it to do it? I've never done a TikTok video, man.
A TikTok video takes 30 seconds to a minute to do, right? I mean, it's the editing and all that is super easy. It is super easy. It's, I'd never done it before. And maybe my first one took me 2 or 3 minutes to figure out. And then after that, it's just boom, boom, boom. And so, maybe I was fortunate in that I'm always out looking at equipment. So I had a bunch of content already kind of there. Mm-hmm. And so maybe people are going to have to think about what they're going to post. But yeah, it's not hard. And then, again, spend $10 promoting a video, you'll get 1,500 views. Wait a week, spend $10. Wait a week, spend $10, and probably have a good shot of getting in.
Did you do
Cody, we're not
your own
we're not all rich and we don't have $50 to spend? I mean, right. is that going to take a little longer? What's your thoughts on that, being the TikTok?
Yeah, I mean, it'll take a little bit longer, or you could just post them, right? And you could get a lot more engaging too than I was, because honestly, I was posting equipment of an auction with music in the background saying selling July 26th, right? But if you wanted to get on there and kind of stir the pot a little bit about today, what's going on in today's political or sports or whatever, to try to get more banner going back and forth with people, you'd get higher engagement and probably get through quicker.
Interesting. Now, one thing Andrew and I did realize with one of the other people we were working with, his YouTube channel, there was some stuff that Amazon didn't care for. We won't dive too deep into that, but it wasn't political. I don't know if political would be a problem, but you never know, I guess, till you try. But you may not want to go down that route as much.
Right.
I don't know. You got thoughts on that, Andrew?
Which part?
About the political part and what you should, you think it's all right?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I mean, I would probably steer away. I'd steer away from that probably.
I'll tell you this. I did have a couple that were borderline political posts, but it was me asking, like, who do you think is going to win the primary? Without interjecting any of my thoughts. I'm just like, hey, TikTok, tell me who's going to win the primary. And then I'd leave it alone. So,
And your engagement wasn't too crazy, because I think that was pretty early on, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So you think, you applied a bunch of times. You had decent engagement when you applied, right? And didn't get in. It was just probably there's probably a threshold that's just a little bit lower, or a lot lower than Facebook. But like, do you remember, like, when you got in, you said you had, what'd you say again?
It's like 130 maybe.
And then when you, the time before when you applied, how many did you have? Like less than 100 maybe?
Oh yeah. So I don't know for sure. I wish I'd have paid a little bit more attention, but I feel like after I spent a little bit of money, it was pretty quickly thereafter.
So I'll go with the next question. What are some of your goals with Amazon Influencer? Let me just tell you really quick some of mine. This thing just took off quick for me. So like my first goal was like, well, it'd be nice to be making, $500-600 a month. I wasn't really dreaming that big, but maybe.
Yep.
And then it's like, wow, gosh, could you imagine if, one could make enough to make a house payment? And I've surpassed that. Now I'm kind of like, wow, it would be nice if this would, take the place of my wife's teacher salary. Not that she's going to stop teaching, but would be neat. And we're almost there. And then love for it to take the place of my salary. So what's your thoughts and dreams with all of that?
Yeah. So my first goal is to have a bigger first month than you did on the program. So make sure that I beat you so that I can have bragging rights. And then really, when I first started thinking about this, it was, my girls are real big in competitive dance. It's like, man, if I could just pay for the girls' dance, that'd be pretty cool, right? And while I'm not there every single day, I have my biggest day was over $40, right? And so I'm like, man, if I do that, that'll take care of it, right? And so
Yeah.
I can see that being a very strong possibility.
So are you like all of the rest of us? I assume, Andrew, you're the same. You took that $40, you multiplied that out by 30 days, and
Absolutely.
$1,200, and yeah,
Absolutely.
All the time.
yeah,
Yep.
all the time.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, man. That's cool, man.
It's
I was
you gotta
thinking
dream,
earlier
you gotta dream.
when
Yeah.
Andrew was talking about having a second account, I thought, man, how cool would it be? Because I know your daughters have been pretty active in helping you film and everything, which is awesome.
Yep.
How awesome would it be to make an extra account and just kind of hand that over to your favorite one of the two?
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe make them split it.
Well, we both know who that is anyway, right?
Oh, that's great,
man. But that would be pretty neat, because I could see a older teenager kind of taking off with something like this.
Well,
and having a whole different spin on different clothes and different things like that.
I did, and it's funny that you brought this up, because I already did talk to my oldest, and I'm like, I want you to keep your TikTok account going, because when you go to college, this is probably going to be your job, right? If you can make a couple grand a month just making videos while you're going to school, I mean, that seems like a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's just go ahead and get towards the end here. Cody, we're going to ask you, kind of how have Andrew and I helped you along the way? Is, you've been able to get some one-on-one coaching through both Andrew and I, and has that been much help? Or, if so, is there anything that you can put your finger on? Any shortcuts you can help
Absolutely
somebody else?
Absolutely. So, I mean, really, full disclosure, you guys helped me so much. I didn't even really read a lot of the stuff, right? I talked to you guys, and y'all do this, don't do that. I mean, y'all walked me through setting up my social media and doing all that. And then once I got in, it seems like that Amazon's gotten a lot more stringent on videos. And so we talked about what type of products to shoot. Mm-hmm. Then you guys talked me through the do's and the don'ts, and then you guys reviewed videos for me, right? And it seems like the rejection level is a lot higher these days, and I was able to get right through the first time. And so that made a big difference, because I do think that it would have been discouraging not to get through, right? So by having you guys walk me through the process, I was able to avoid that, and that made a big difference.
I thought it was cool, Cody, is that you were so open to feedback. You did a ton of takes. I never sense any frustration. It's like, really, guys, I really have to do this again. You're like, we said that sound maybe is a little bit quiet. And you're like, what should I do to get the sound better? Well, you can get a lapel mic. Okay, I'm getting a mic tonight. Yep. And then the next day you had your mic. So that's something that shows, I mean, first you're hustling. You got full-time job just like Jim does, like three of us do. And then, but secondly, you found time to make it happen. And you found time to redo these. You didn't just say, believe me, there's a lot of people who say, I'll get to it later then. I don't know. Or
that video's probably good enough, right?
Yeah, or it's good enough.
I heard any of that out of Cody. He was just like, I'll just reshoot it. Because, on our side, we're kind of like, do we want to be that critical of this video? Do we want to, this could be a little better, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Should we say something? And you're like, tell me, let me know, and I'll make the decision. And your decision was just going to redo it.
Okay. So
the first three, I'm sorry, good.
Well, no. So it's real easy, because again, I alluded to this earlier, but there's always these schemes of how to make money, right? Yeah. And they seem too good to be true. And if you just take my course and pay $9.99, then we'll hook you up, right?
$199.99.
Okay, but then I'm hearing I'm literally talking to I'm talking to two guys that I know that are actually making significant money, and they're like, hey, just follow this process and you can too. So let's say Jim Ed's making $6,000 a month. Well, let's say I fall short and make $3,000 a month. That was worth me shooting a couple of videos a couple of times, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think we impressed the fact that those first three videos, I'm sure you got this, because we were talking about other situations where those first three didn't get in, and it's a pain. So you're like, crap, get these first three videos right. And you took that seriously. You were just like, okay, and I think that's why, right? So you're not showing every video to us now, because it's but these first three, it was critical.
Yeah. And I think you guys have you've been through the process. Y'all are much further along in the process. So y'all have kind of maybe already stumbled over the rocks that I'm coming up on. And so it's really helped me out a lot.
Well, cool. And I'll ask you this. This may not apply just because you have access to us all the time, but are there any other questions, Amazon influencer wise, that you need answered, or that you think people don't know about?
I think for myself, I have the questions answered because we all talk so much, right? I can pick up the phone and call you guys anytime. But I would impress upon people to reach out to you guys about how to get into the program, because once you're into the program, it's not hard. I've shot almost 50 videos. I did have one video rejected. It was for something stupid, and I reshot it and I was in. But like getting in is the hard part, I think. And so I would encourage folks that are on the fence about trying it out or whatever to talk to you guys, because I think you can really shorten that process for them. And I think you can help them avoid the pitfalls that some of these people that are getting rejected are having, and just make it an easier process.
Cool.
Yeah.
So two more things real quick. The 3-in-1 behind you, have you already done a review on that?
Mm-hmm. On the what?
The 3-in-1 that's right behind you, the scanner printer.
Oh, yes, I have.
Okay, good. All right. Making sure you're not.
It's not just move
anything.
out of the way a little bit so I can.
Right. Yep.
And the other thing, gosh, I forgot. So anyway.
Hey, I got a fun thing. I think we got a few minutes. So this is okay. So I want all three of us to talk about the weirdest product that we've actually done a video review of. I've got one, or silly, or like seriously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell yours then, so you can kick us off.
Okay, a janitor cart.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah,
I kept on
you
walking.
chose not to do it, and I reviewed it, and guess what? It's live.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought you said you sold one.
Not yet, but
no, not yet.
Do you think I'm gonna sell one?
Yeah, probably.
Don't ask me where I got that janitor.
What's
that's not important, but
I was there. I remember. Was there anything weird that you thought I reviewed while you was with me at that time?
Me?
Yeah. That I reviewed that you didn't?
Probably let's see. I mean, I guess the toilet in the hotel room that you were staying in, that was probably no, that was not anywhere near as weird as the urinal in the public bathroom. I did. So, hey, they sell them on Amazon, man. They ain't cheap.
I gotta up my game on some of that stuff, because mine are pretty, boring.
It's almost this underground market where there's all these people just going around doing these, like, what are these people reviewing? Like, so you see people in restaurants like, this is like, we're all reviewing the same sink. Like, there's 3 people doing the sink in a ritzy restaurant bathroom, something like that.
Nice.
Probably my weirdest thing then, I guess, along those lines, it's not that weird, but it is kind of weird to do, is a little sawdust brush for the shop to brush the sawdust away. That thing is $7.99 on Amazon. I bet I probably sold half a dozen of those, and I probably almost made $1,
Yeah, I did some lip balm, $3.99 lip balm. I can't wait to see how long it takes me to make like $1 on that.
Yeah, it'll be a little while.
But so Cody, what about you? What about the weirdest thing?
Man, I don't think I really have one yet. I did like a towel rack, right? But I don't really consider that weird. But
have you done anything like super cheap and you're like, what was that really worth my time?
Oh yeah. And this was back when I was still doing like 15 takes of a video, and I'm like, wait a minute, this costs $5. I'm never recouping this.
Oh, that's a good pro tip right there, man. If it's under $10 and it's going to take more than one take, then don't, just let it take one take and put it up. It's fine.
I've learned that it's okay to say in a video and to stumble over your words a little bit. I mean, obviously it can't be off the rails, but just be authentic and get it done.
Thanks, Cody.
Yeah, you guys have a good night.
You too.
All right, thanks a lot, Cody. Really appreciate it, man.
All right, buddy.
Okay, so Cody was really fun talking to Cody. So he had to drop off, but Jim Ed and I are going to just kind of wrap things up. So we're really looking to do more of these type things when we have some guests on. So if you're wanting to be a guest on our podcast, we'd love to have you. So we're getting definitely some people who are joining our Facebook group, and we've had one who's actually already a member. Most of the others, I'll put it this way, not a lot of people are already Amazon influencers. Most that are joining are they've heard a little bit about it, but not much, and they're just kind of looking for another side hustle opportunity. So if you're one of those out there listening, and maybe you've joined since you've listened to the podcast, we'd love to talk to you, because I really think the information we're providing is more than enough to get you from A to whatever to making money, put it that way. Z is probably way down the road, right? But at least making money. So we'd love just to hear more. Please reach out to us. I know we have people listening. We just don't know where you're coming from, where you are in your journey. So just reach out to us. The best way to reach out to us is probably just join our group, our Facebook group, Side Hustle Heroes HQ. Obviously, if you want to send us an email, you're not really wanting to join the group, then send us an email, sidehustleheroeshq@gmail.com. Okay, I just want to get that out of the way. So anyway, Jim, Ed, you have a couple things that you've sort of noticed about on-site placement. So I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, but I'd like to also comment on what you just mentioned. I'd love to be doing one of these once a month with a guest.
Yeah.
And even if you're a guest that just, hey, I'm starting from scratch and I would just love to get some shortcuts and tips like you heard Cody got, you're getting to hear Cody after he's in. We'd be happy to talk to you as you're getting started, to kind of give you some tips to help fast forward you into the process and get you an opportunity to be heard by tens and maybe hundreds of listeners. Kind of joking, but not really. So yeah, but just a couple of things I wanted to go over real quick here as we conclude. First off, man, what a podcast, man. Cody was great on here. You'd heard me mention Cody a couple of times throughout earlier episodes. It's great for you all to get to meet him, see what he's doing. And yeah, hopefully here in another 90 days or so, we can have him back on, see how he's doing. Hopefully he's blowing it up and giving me some competition, because Andrew's not.
I was gonna say, if you all of a sudden don't see me anymore and you see Cody on there, I might get booted a little bit, just like I got booted from my job. Might just get Jimmy's gonna lay me off from the podcast.
I think you're pretty secure, buddy. Don't worry about that.
Is that too soon? Too soon?
I tell you, yeah, no, it's not for me. It's not too soon for me. Cody mentioned one thing on here is that he got to talk to us and kind of didn't have to didn't have to read anything on the Amazon. Exactly the same thing for me. Andrew took my hand
on the Amazon.
The whole thing. Huh?
You said on the Amazon?
Yeah, on the Amazon. Now I didn't read any of the terms and conditions really. I kind of glanced over it later, but Andrew walked me through it. Well, here's what you need to do. Here's how you need to do it. Kind of like we're doing right now. And it was a ton of help. So thank you, Andrew. I really appreciate you in all this. Andrew does most of the work in this podcast and on these videos and putting this together. And I really appreciate him and what he's doing. And, he really deserves all the credit, even though I commonly refer to this as my podcast.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just go over a couple of things that I've kind of seen. We went to a conference earlier in July, and that was interesting. That was good. It wasn't really about this so much, but one thing that I did do, and this is kind of part of the goal setting that I like to do, and having an accountability group is a good part of that. I told them a week before we were going to leave that I was going to put up 50 videos. I was at 200 videos at the time. And I said, I'm going to put up 50 videos before we get on the plane to go to the conference. I put up 66 videos. So, set some little stepping stone type goals of here's how many videos I'm going to put up. And part of that was I was running around $130 a day on average. And I wanted that to be more around 160 or so a day. Well, fast forward, I got up to 250. I actually got to, like I said, 266. Now I'm at 333. I've just kind of kept going. Once you kind of set a pace of doing a lot of videos, people around you see that you're doing a lot of videos. My wife she's out of school, so that's going to stop here soon, or she's not going to be able to help as much. She's going to get busy. But everybody kind of gets into a routine of, hey, it's Saturday. What are we doing? Well, we know what we're doing. We're going to do some videos, you know? It's like, okay, what do we need to do? And everybody just keeps getting better at it, getting quicker at it. Everything just flows a lot better. But that being said, if you think about it, in the last, goodness, only 2 weeks, wow, I've gone from 200 to 333 videos in the last 2.5 weeks. So what have I seen in that? I've seen an increase in daily money. Now, we did roll through a Amazon Prime Day during all that, and I think I did get a little uptick during that. But I think in the last 2 weeks, I've only had one day under $200. So maybe two,
Yeah.
1 or 2 days.
Mhm.
So, my goal was to go from 130 to 160. I've gone up to about $200, and a lot of these 15, 20 videos that I'm saying that I've got up, they haven't been up long enough to be placed yet. So I'm not seeing any money off of that yet. And
Let me ask you a question, Jim Ed. So I don't want to go on a rabbit trail, but I think this is important. So do you feel like the quality of the video now, I know your videos are getting, that's the wrong word. The quality of the video is, I'm sure, is great, but the quality of the products, are you kind of getting to the sort of like, okay, all the low-hanging fruit, I'm done with those. Now I'm having to stretch a little bit harder to do these products that either not a really high price point, or they're not great sellers, or they're just not, the kind of products you normally review.
great question. And the answer is mostly yes, but partially no. It's funny. I run across something and I'm like, oh man, I can't believe I haven't reviewed this already.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, it's getting a little harder. I used to have like one person in China I was working with that was doing well with getting me pretty good products. Now I've got two that's getting me pretty good products, and a third that's getting me okay products.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff these guys contact you with, it's like you scroll through there and like some of the most expensive stuff's probably $8. It's like, oh yeah, I can't do that. So, and all of them will ask you to do stuff. And I've been trying to like build my relationship with them people, letting them know that, hey, you're one of my top suppliers. And I let you know I really appreciate you and thank you for getting me good products. It's a human on the other end of that. And if they like you, they're going to probably watch out for you a little bit more. And then I even went as far as to tell them, hey, look, if you ever have a product that I turn down that I really need a video of this, just ask me. Just say, hey, I really need somebody to do a video of this for me. Can you help me out on this one? I said, chances are I'll help you out on it. It may not make sense for me. That's why I'm turning it down.
Yeah, cool. I guess we did get in a major rabbit trail, but this is good. This is good. So, but kind of circle back on the whole, you said the more videos you're doing, you feel like the more money you're making, for sure. Strong correlation. Do you think there's some sort of factor? Now, if you already mentioned this, sorry if I maybe phase off, but do you think there's some sort of factor that Amazon says? And again, this is if you're into social media, the algorithm, as the word is, the algorithm is a very common word. Do you think there's an algorithm like that? The more you post, the more views you're going to get. Is that the same kind of thing maybe Amazon influencer is doing?
Yeah, it's all a guess, and this is my opinion on it. And I just try to look at it. These guys are pretty darn smart over there. I think we all know how the Amazon thing works. They put a lot of smart people in a room, and they all kind of come up with a group think idea with something and kind of workshop it through till they come out with something. So if you'll keep that in mind when you look at things and just think, hey, they know what they're doing. They're not, most of this stuff isn't like a one-man band and let's try this in business and see if it works. They're very strategic in what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they've got the money to do it. So here are my thoughts on it. I'm guessing that if you've got a high close rate, meaning your what do they call it on there?
Conversion rate.
Conversion rate, yes. If you've got a high conversion rate, you have to be going up on a list. If you have a high overall commission / revenue rate, they're hand in hand. In other words, if I sell 15 of those brushes I was talking about that are $8 a piece, that's probably not going to be a blip on the radar. But if I'm selling 5 of something that's $2,000, after a while, it's like, hey, this guy's constantly doing this. And kind of and here's where my opinion is coming in again. But what I've noticed is I see a guy, and you and I have talked in detail about this, but I see a guy on a lot of my posts that doesn't do a very good job on his videos at all. There's really, the content is terrible, honestly.
Yeah.
And but I still see him. So he's showing up on posts. So that tells me that it's not the quality of the video. It's maybe the quantity of the video. The guy's got a ton of videos. I run into this guy all the time. There's other people I see here and there. I see this guy more constantly than anything. And I just think he gets on more posts because he's got more videos out, are my thoughts on that.
How many videos do you think he has?
I mean, I can find him and look him up. I don't know. Can you?
Thousands?
I don't think we can look at somebody else's channel and tell how many videos, can we?
Yeah, this is a search bar. They've taken away. It's there, and they can take it away. I think it's back, but there's a way of telling usually. But we could talk about next podcast. But
yeah,
that is something too. You can kind of learn a lot about an influencer as far as like certainly watch their videos. You can also see how many they've got, I believe. So, in fact, just keep on seeing what you're saying. I'm gonna look at this real quick here.
Yeah.
While we're talking.
So in my attempt to move the needle by putting more videos up, I think I'm also getting some synergy there from Amazon to go, hey, let's get him placed.
Yeah.
Because hey, that's the name of the game. And I'll give you all another hint that I've kind of figured out is, hey, they're not putting 6 up anymore. They're putting 10. There's 10 videos on the carousel now. The carousel is semi-hidden. You got to hit a button now to see, I think they call it photos and videos. But I'll tell you this, my guess is the people who look for the videos, they find them. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of people that don't ever look at videos. I've talked to some people go, oh, I've never even looked at videos. And then I've talked to other people. It's like, oh yeah, if I have any questions at all on those products, that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm going to the videos. And right. I'm kind of that way too. I'll go see how many stars there are, and if it's got a good rating. And if it's got a good rating, sometimes I'll jump on there and see if the top ratings were paid for or not. A lot of times they are, and it's a bunch of junk you're getting ready to buy. So I steer away from it. So a lot of people are pretty savvy on narrowing that down pretty quick and figuring that out.
We have somebody from church that said they never watch videos.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tend to disagree. Like I watch a lot of videos now since we've been doing this, and just to let you know, yeah. So when you go on desktop, at least when you go to when you click on like the name of the person who does a review, the name of the channel, whatever, it says search all 334 posts, whatever. So now if they're doing a bunch of images and stuff like that, that will be part of that. But most people aren't doing most of it. You can scroll down and you can tell most of the things that they're doing are videos. So I'm looking at this person right now, and yeah, you can see that in the search bar. To search.
You find the person I was talking about?
No, I didn't. But I just looked up somebody, and you can see how many. If you just go to their page, you can see how many searches they've got. I'm sorry, how many videos they have in the search bar. You see that?
Yeah, I was actually going to try to look this guy up just to see how many he's got. It's not even now. It's not pulling it up. Storefront's not active. It's not even the product that he reviewed. He probably tags the maximum amount of things as well. Breaking every rule.
Okay, cool. So, all right, good stuff, Jim Ed. So anything else on-site placement that you wanted to talk about, like as far as preference, priorities? I think you're onto something too, is conversion rate. It could also be watch percentage as well. Are they watching a high percentage of your video?
Absolutely.
Because the metrics there, there's the metrics they can look at: conversion rate, how much time they're watching of your video, what percentage, and also number of minutes. So, but I bet you conversion rate is a huge factor for sure. And in general, good video content is going to get a higher conversion rate than poor video content. I mean, it's just going to, because there's already a high conversion rate on Amazon. It's only going to be better if you have good content. I would think. I would think.
I have to agree, but the case study is this video, and he's on a lot of stuff. He's
Well,
you
I
know,
think he's gone.
no, he's not gone.
Okay.
His video's still his video's still showing up.
So hey, so think about this, Jim, for a second. This is interesting. So we talked about this a little bit. So what if all they do is just watch a very low percentage of the video and be like, I'm done with this video, and then just go ahead and just buy the product? They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I mean, they could very well do that, and that guy is just getting money. So Amazon needs to probably use more than they probably are looking at more than just in that case bounce. That looks like a bounce in traditional terms. They're just watching a few seconds, they're gone, they buy. That really they shouldn't get much credit for that. So that's what.
All right, so all right, so let me give you an example here.
Yeah.
So this guy has a tub. Okay, so this is a Whirlpool indoor style tub.
Mm-hmm.
What we're talking about here. This guy has one of those stand up, or not stand up, one of those walk in tall tubs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They have on. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not related. Okay, not very loosely related at best.
Mm-hmm.
And he's on here, and I'm not. And I've got 2 videos on the actual tub that goes up there. I did a review video of after a year, and I did an initial video from when I first, pretty close to where I first put it in.
Yeah.
And I'm not even showing on the listing, and he's on it. So my video, is a lot better than his. It's well done. It shows the actual product. I fill it full of water. I show all the functions on it.
Yeah.
I do the whole deal. My audio is great, on and on and on. And he shows up on it. So that to me is sort of kind of proof that if you have a bunch of videos up, that it's going to help you. And yeah, I would bet you this guy's making more money than I am too. And that's a 22-second video he's got up.
Yeah, okay, that's the other factor. So it's conversion rate, maybe watch rate, and just sheer number of videos. And it also can be momentum. Momentum, like how often are you uploading new videos? It's kind of like the whole algorithm with YouTube, social media, other social media, right? So there's something to it. But I think all that, we say all that to say, we don't know for sure, but it never hurts to do a lot of reviews. It's not a good idea to probably do what he's doing.
No, not advocating that.
You're doing things, you have a lot of videos right now, and you can probably get to 1,000 videos, and they'll all be probably really good. Maybe you might just hit a hotel or something, or where it's like, okay, it's not really someone's house, but there's opportunities. There's things out there that don't require a lot of experience with it. You can simply look at it and say, oh, this works really well. A hand sanitizer station, that's pretty cool. A water bottle station, hey, that's pretty, you just demonstrate it and you're done. So that's the kind of thing too. How much value is it adding? Well, it's probably not to add as much value as if someone wants to see how I'm looking at this leaf blower that someone reviewed, for sure. But some products don't need as much review, as much information. And you know what? Maybe there's just a curiosity factor where someone's like, why is someone watching a video on someone using a hand sanitizer station? I have no idea. Why would someone be watching that? There's probably not a whole lot of people, but maybe just sheer curiosity, and maybe you're telling them something that they really want to know. Maybe.
Well, look, here's a couple things to break down. First off, they ended up on a hand sanitizer station page to buy. Okay. So right. That's not on you. You didn't push them to that page. They're right there.
Yeah.
And look, you're wanting to buy one, and there's something you just can't figure out from the text and the pictures. So you need to see a video, and chances are you're going to show them what they're looking for, even if you don't tell them what they're looking. You don't mention the thing that they were really looking for. So
just the video itself, they want to see how tall is this thing really. Oh man,
so I always like to try to
napkins. This is a really cool napkin station. It was actually, when I looked at it, I was like, man, that's really cool looking. It was tall, really tall like this. And it had about, I think it held 1,000 napkins. And then it was really cool. And so that's like really unique, and it's clear too. So you can see how many napkins you have in it. So I'm like, I did a review and talked about that. So that's a good point. But someone might say, like, I don't care what you're saying about it. I just want to see how big that is. Oh yeah, it is pretty tall.
Well, and it's good.
Yeah.
They can see some context there. They see your hand up next to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's make sure this isn't a mini napkin,
Right.
dispenser, and it looks big and it's not what I expected.
Right.
That happens all the time. You can't. They take a close up of something and you can't tell. Is this thing the size of a small plate or is it the size of a $50 coin? But once you watch the video, you can absolutely tell, no problem. Last thing I wanted to hit, and we'll wrap this up, is all right. So they made it onto the page to buy the product. They're watching they're going to watch a video. Now they're picking which video to watch. Now, are they going to watch one video or are they going to watch 3 videos? Well, probably depends on the video. If you look at your videos, I will guarantee you that 99% of your videos does not have 100% watch rate. If it has 100% watch rate, it's because one person watched it,
right,
and they watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that also tells me that people are watching the video and then they are going to either buy or they're going somewhere else, or maybe they're watching another video, but probably not. Why are they quit? Especially if they watch half of your video. I think at that point, they're like, okay, I see what I needed to see. I'm buying it. I think that's what happens more often than not. Now, my conversion rate's only 6 to 15% typically, somewhere in there, 6 on the low end, 15 on the high. I would say anything over 8 or 9 is probably slaying it. But the thing that I want to do is there's 10 videos to choose from. I want them to choose my video. And to me, there is a couple of ways to do that, but the main way, one of the ways is what the video looks like. They kind of give you a preview, and that just kind of is what it is. The other thing is the title. I want people to read my title and go, oh, I want an answer to that. I want to kind of ask a question in the title or get somebody thinking of something in the title to where they go, oh, I need to now click on that video because that's hanging out there and I need to get the answer to that because I don't know. And right here's the answer, a click away. So that's kind of what I'm thinking when I'm writing the titles. I think that's going to be very helpful for anybody that's wanting to make money doing this.
So just again, a final reminder, unless you have anything else, Jim Ed, I can wrap us up. Please check us out, Side Hustle Heroes HQ. That's our Facebook group. And we always say Google it. Just go to Facebook. There's a search bar on Facebook. Just type in Side Hustle Heroes HQ, and then there'll be a little group thing. You'll find our group there. Okay, there's a page as well, but go to our group, sign up, and if you do give us our email address and your email address and you're waiting for your PDF tips, we'll get it to you. Okay, so we're kind of like in the process of building out that cheat sheet PDF, if you will. So if you have signed up for that and you're wondering where it is, we haven't forgotten about you. We're going to get that PDF over to you in the next couple of weeks. So anyway, thank you guys, everyone who listens, who are either watching us or listening. We really do appreciate this podcast number 9. Man, and we're halfway to our, can we get to podcast 20? We're halfway there and we're going to hit it. And we have no intentions of not doing our podcast anytime soon because we're having a lot of fun and we're going to change where we go. Like we have a location that we do. We record usually Sunday mornings is when we do this, but we're going to, if we're interviewing people, we might change things up a little bit. So we'll just kind of keep you guessing a little bit. We'll keep this fun. We don't want this to be stagnant or static. We want it to be dynamic and fun. And so, join us for the ride. Jim Ed, good job and have a great evening. And thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Andrew.